Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty fascinating, and it's all coming straight from the material you've been digging into.
Yeah.
Yep, Chapter 16 of Age Well, Live Fully.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
all about this really powerful link between, like, spirituality and finding meaning in life,
Yeah.
especially as we get older.
Okay, interesting.
So our mission today, I guess, is to really break down these ideas. They can be kind of complex sometimes, right?
For sure.
Especially how they connect to aging well.
Right?
And then hopefully pull out some really useful stuff you can actually, use in your life.
Love that. Actionable insights, right?
Exactly. So we're going to see how spirituality is way bigger than just, religion,
Yeah. Okay.
and how what gives our lives meaning can totally change over time.
I like where this is going.
Awesome.
Ugh.
So ready to jump in and see what we find?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
All right, let's do it. So right off the bat, what really struck me in your source material was this, really broad view of what spirituality actually is.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely not saying it's just about, belonging to a church or anything like that.
Right, exactly.
Instead, it's more about this this feeling of being connected to something much bigger than just ourselves.
I see. Yeah.
Something that gives us a sense of purpose, a reason for being, and like a real sense of belonging in the world.
Oh, that's interesting.
And your source really hammers home the point that these things, these feelings, are super important for aging well.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like they're this inner compass, this source of strength that helps us through tough times.
Almost like a built-in resilience booster or something.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's like the book is saying that this need to connect, to figure out where we fit in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
it's just as important as, eating or sleeping.
It's a fundamental human need, absolutely.
Right, it's essential to feeling good and whole.
Totally. And the source makes it very clear that this journey, this figuring out your own spirituality, it's very much an individual thing.
Right, right.
So, while traditional religion is definitely a path for some people, there are tons of other ways to find that connection and meaning.
Totally, yeah. And your source actually gives some really concrete examples of that, right?
It does, yeah.
Like meditation and yoga,
Right.
connecting with nature,
Absolutely.
and then, of course, yeah, participating in organized religion.
Exactly. So what jumps out at you from that list?
Well, I guess what ties them all together for me is this idea of, what really speaks to you personally.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about following a set of rules or, fitting into a box.
Yeah.
It's about what brings you peace and a sense of, I don't know, fulfillment.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Your spirituality is unique to you, and it doesn't have to look like anyone else's.
Right, right. And what's really interesting is that this idea of meaning and purpose, it's not a one and done kind of thing.
Oh, definitely not. It's a journey.
It can change so much over time.
It absolutely does. What drives you in your 20s? What gives you that sense of purpose?
Mm-hmm.
It might be completely different when you hit your 60s or 70s.
Makes total sense.
And the source really acknowledges that. It stresses that as we age, it's crucial to actively seek out new sources of meaning and connection.
So it's less about holding on to the past
Exactly.
and more about embracing new possibilities.
Absolutely. It's about finding fresh ways to contribute, to engage with the world around you.
I love that. So let's get even more specific. The source actually lays out some strategies for finding that new meaning.
Oh, yeah. It gets pretty practical.
Yeah. So what are some of those things it suggests?
Well, one that it highlights is volunteering.
Oh, yeah, giving back to the community.
Right. And the source really emphasizes how powerful that can be,
I can see that.
It gives you this feeling that you're actually making a difference. And it lets you use all the skills and knowledge you've gained over the years to help others.
Right. So what else?
Another big one is pursuing your passions.
Those hobbies and things that light you up inside, right?
Exactly. And the source makes it clear that this isn't about, achieving something or getting recognition.
Okay, yeah.
It's about doing things that bring you joy, period.
This is what I find so fascinating. It's almost like the book is suggesting that as we get older, our purpose doesn't have to be tied to, our careers or raising a family.
I see what you mean.
Which are often the big things that define us earlier in life, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But as we age, it's more about finding new ways to feel valued and connected.
Yeah.
And I can see how volunteering or, finally taking that pottery class you've always dreamed of.
Yeah,
Those things could be hugely fulfilling.
absolutely. And they feed those basic human needs we've been talking about,
Right, right.
Volunteering, for instance, it combats isolation by connecting you with other people.
Oh, that's so important.
Right. And it gives you that sense of purpose of making a contribution.
Yeah, yeah.
And then following your passions. Well, that brings joy and a sense of accomplishment.
Which does wonders for your self-esteem.
Exactly.
Yeah. So cool. And, something else the Source really stresses is this idea of feeling connected to something bigger than ourselves.
Okay.
It specifically talks about connecting with nature
Right.
or with a community of people
Yeah.
or through spirituality or even a belief in a higher power.
It lists a lot of options.
It does, yeah. So why do you think this feeling of connection is so crucial, especially as we get older?
Well, think about it. Life is always throwing curveballs, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the Source suggests that this feeling of connection, it's like a buffer,
Okay.
It gives you solace, comfort, a sense that you're not alone.
Like a safety net.
Exactly. When you feel connected, whether it's to nature or your community or your faith,
Yeah,
you have this inner strength to draw on when things get rough.
I see. Yeah, it helps you weather the storm.
Exactly. It reduces that feeling of isolation and reminds you that you're part of something much, much bigger.
So beautiful. Okay, I want to shift gears a bit and talk about some of the practical tools the Source suggests for cultivating spirituality and finding inner peace.
Oh, yeah, the stuff you can actually do.
Exactly. And it talks about things like meditation, prayer, and mindfulness. We hear these words all the time.
All the time.
But what are the real benefits, according to the Source?
Well, it really highlights their power to reduce stress and improve focus.
Okay.
Mindfulness specifically helps you stay present,
In the moment.
Yeah, instead of getting caught up in worries about the past or the future.
Right, right.
And prayer, for those who connect with it, can offer comfort, guidance, and a feeling of connection to something bigger.
Makes sense.
And then meditation, well, there's so many different kinds, but they all aim to quiet that constant mental chatter.
Yeah, to bring some peace to the mind.
Exactly. And ultimately, all these practices, they strengthen our connection to ourselves and the world around us.
Which I guess brings us back to that feeling of meaning we were talking about earlier.
Right. Full circle. It's not just about feeling calm for a few minutes,
Right.
It's about building this lasting foundation of well-being.
Okay, I love it. Now, your Source actually includes a specific spiritual reflection exercise. It's broken down into 5 steps.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Want to walk through those steps together?
Sure, let's do it.
Cool. So step 1 is finding a quiet space.
Pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yeah, it's about having a place where you can be free from distractions.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be a whole room or anything.
No, just somewhere you can focus inward without being interrupted.
Right, a little sanctuary.
Love it. Okay, step 2 is reflecting on your beliefs.
Ah, getting deep.
So thinking about what you currently believe about spirituality and meaning.
Yeah.
And the Source encourages you to really consider whether there are any changes or shifts you might want to explore.
It's about being honest with yourself,
Right. It's like taking stock of where you're at and seeing if there's anywhere you want to grow.
Yeah. It's easy to just go through life on autopilot and not really examine what you believe.
True. Okay, step 3 is about exploring different paths.
Interesting.
So the idea is to research various spiritual practices and belief systems. See if anything new speaks to you.
It's like opening yourself up to new possibilities.
Exactly. It's a reminder that there's no right or wrong way to approach this.
And it encourages you to be curious,
Yeah, to approach it with an open mind.
Just see what resonates with you, what feels right.
Okay, step 4 is about connecting with others.
Ah, the social aspect.
So this could be sharing your journey with friends or family, maybe joining a spiritual community.
The Source really stresses the importance of connection,
Oh, totally. We're social creatures, right?
Absolutely. Sharing your experiences with others can be incredibly powerful.
Yeah, it can give you support, different perspectives, and just that feeling of belonging.
Right. It makes the journey less lonely.
And finally, step 5 is to practice mindfulness.
Bringing it all together.
Yeah, so this could be through meditation or other mindfulness techniques.
The idea is to make this a regular part of your life.
Right, to really integrate it into your routine.
And remember, there's no pressure to do it perfectly.
Yeah, it's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly. Just find what works for you and keep exploring.
Now, your source also dives into some more advanced mindfulness techniques that are specifically geared towards stress reduction.
Oh, yeah, I was curious about those.
Me too.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about body scan meditation and loving kindness meditation?
Okay, so body scan meditation is all about bringing your attention to different parts of your body, one by one.
Yeah.
You notice any sensations, any tension, but without judging them.
Interesting.
And then you consciously try to release that tension.
Sounds relaxing.
It is, and it really helps you connect with your physical self.
Okay. And what about loving kindness meditation?
Well, that one is about cultivating feelings of, well, loving kindness.
Makes sense.
You start by directing those feelings toward yourself,
Oh, that's interesting.
and then you gradually expand it outward.
So first yourself then.
Then to loved ones.
Okay.
Then to people you don't know as well. And eventually even to people you might have difficulty with.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is. It helps you develop empathy and cultivate more positive emotions.
And the source suggests actually setting aside a specific time each day for your mindfulness practice.
Oh, yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Right, like scheduling it in makes you more likely to actually do it.
Absolutely. Even just a few minutes a day can have a big impact over time.
Consistency is key. Okay, shifting gears again. Your source talks a lot about the power of gratitude.
Oh, gratitude is amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the source suggests it's a powerful tool for boosting positive emotions and improving your mental health.
What's fascinating is that it's so simple,
Right.
But the impact is huge. Instead of focusing on what you don't have,
Yeah.
you shift your attention to what you're grateful for.
Makes total sense.
And that shift in perspective can lead to more happiness and life satisfaction.
And the source gives a really practical tip for cultivating gratitude.
Oh, yeah, the gratitude journal.
Yep. The idea is to write down 3 things you're grateful for each day.
It sounds so simple, but it really works.
Right. It's like training your brain to notice the good things.
Exactly. Even when things are tough, there's always something to be grateful for.
Okay, I want to circle back to those strategies for finding meaning and purpose in later life. We touched on them earlier, but they're worth repeating.
For sure. They're important.
So we've got volunteering, learning a new skill, connecting with nature, practicing mindfulness, and building strong relationships.
It's like a recipe for a fulfilling life,
It really is.
Yeah.
And these things are especially beneficial as we age, right?
Absolutely. They tap into those core human needs we talked about earlier.
Right, right. So volunteering gives you that sense of contribution and connection.
Right.
Learning keeps your mind sharp.
Keeps you engaged with the world.
Connecting with nature fosters that sense of awe and belonging.
Yeah.
Mindfulness brings peace and resilience.
And strong relationships provide support and love.
It's all connected, isn't it?
It really is. It's all part of this beautiful tapestry of a meaningful life.
Okay, so to wrap up our deep dive into your sources today, we've really explored how spirituality is this deeply personal and multifaceted thing.
Yeah.
It goes way beyond organized religion.
Way beyond.
And it's all about finding that connection to something bigger than ourselves, which gives us meaning and purpose.
And that sense of purpose evolves over time.
Exactly. So it's all about being open to new possibilities, new ways to connect, and new ways to contribute to the world.
It's about staying curious and engaged even as we age.
Love that. And we talk about some really practical tools to help you on this journey, like meditation, practicing gratitude, and that 5-step spiritual reflection exercise.
Oh, great starting points.
Yeah. So with all these amazing ways to cultivate spirituality and find meaning, from quiet reflection to community involvement to connecting with nature,
Yeah.
what single step feels most compelling for you to explore further? What do you think will bring you a deeper sense of purpose in your life?
That's a great question to ponder.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something for you to think about. That's your food for thought from the deep dive today.
Thanks for the deep dive. I learned a lot today.
Me too. It's always fascinating to explore these ideas,